How we doing, my trips? I'm just fucking messing about at home. I'm all sore, really sore for my classes. Like my whole body's aching, man. When do you get past this stage is all I ask. Oh, it's brutal. See that feeling you get when you've done the weights and your muscles are all sore? Brutal, but do you know what? It's got to be done, innit, man? I've got a class tonight, so uh, I'm just hoping I don't end up worse tomorrow, know what I mean? Um, my kid's mum's been up, cause or the guy she was seeing, he beat her up and all that. Her face is all marked and she's got a cracked rib. Uh, it's no nice, know what I mean? But we all know the type of people that lift their horns to their their partners, know what I mean? Just absolute weaklings, man. And I actually know this guy. He used to live in this area, but he had to move. And I actually felt sorry for him when I first met him. Just when you've been around a lot of kind of different street types, you kind of get a sense about vulnerabilities and maybe a bit of darkness behind the eyes, whatever. I just seen fear in this guy's eyes constantly. And I actually felt a bit sorry for him, but no, I just think he's an absolute scumbag, know what I mean? Is what it is. But other than that, I'm just rolling with the punches. But I wanted to come on and tell a funny jail story, right, that I actually forgot about. Um, and it goes all the way back to 1999, right? Now, back then, I was what, 16, 17, right? I turned 17 in 1999, I'm sure. And I was just different back then. I mean, you could probably imagine, know what I mean? I was already halfway through a 4 year prison term in Pullman Young Offenders Institution for abducting two social workers that I think I've already kind of explained in other videos and podcasts and all this kind of stuff. Um, and I used to just do stupid things, right? And I remember one day I opened the paper, right? And don't know if any remember the comedian Andy Cameron. I think he's passed away now. He was at a Rangers in Aberdeen game, right? At Ibrox, and an Aberdeen fan ran onto the pitch and attacked him. He was storming singing Andy Cameron. He was storming singing Rangers songs, right? And this guy's wasn't. I don't think it was on the pitch. See, on the bit between the pitch and the seated area, like where all the stewards are all storming. I think it was like right there. But this was all caught on. You know, there's photographers, professional photographers at these games, so this was captured on film, and so this guy's assaulted him, and I remember what I was sitting, and it was Rannoch Hall in Pullman, so it used to be called Carrick. And I think when it was called Carrick Hall, it was a hall for people who were going home at the weekends or they had a lot more freedoms or whatever. But when I went there, it was called Rannoch Hall and it was basically for under 18s, right? Pretty small, there was only about 40 cells in it or something. It was fucking petty as fuck. I get ruled up for the least wee things, man. But some of the things I probably did deserve, and other things it was just I knew for a fact was nothing to do with me. But I don't know if people were saying it was or the screws just wanted to fuck with me or whatever. But fuck it, innit? It was part of the job description back then. But when I was reading, when that guy attacked Andy Cameron, right? I can't mind his name. So obviously he's been charged with assault. And then obviously back then there was no televisions in prison, so you were always reading the newspapers, reading books, fucking drawn on the walls, whatever the fuck, right? And I remember one day, it was the Evening Times, right? And this guy who'd attacked Andy Cameron went to court, and the the papers printed his address, the door number in the street and the town, right? So that was me, wasn't it? And I wrote this guy a letter, right? And I was so this is I'm not laughing because I think this bit's funny, right? But back in 1999, there was a guy setting off bombs in London, like a neo-Nazi skinhead type, and this was at the same kind of time when this happened with Andy Cameron, and I wrote this guy a letter who'd attacked Andy Cameron, and I said, I'm the nail bomber, and if I'm going to blow you up for what you done and all this shit, right? And I remember showing a couple of the guys in the hall the letter, right? Like thinking, haha, wait you see this. So didn't expect anything to happen with it, but right, and then see like fucking, I think it was maybe a month later, a couple of weeks later, can't really remember, a long time ago, and opened the paper one day, and there was like this big, it was big, it was bigger than half a page, right, and it had this guy's photo, right, and the headline was, nail bomb threat to Aberdeen thug, and we were all like, what? So that was me, right? But kind of thought it was funny, right? All that kind of stuff. Slaps in the back of the troops, and then we're laughing about it and all that. But somebody obviously opened their mouth, and I get put on. I think it was Rule 53 or something. It was called Rule 50 something. I think all incoming and outgoing mail is read before coming in and out. All my letters were getting read, photocopied and all that, just because I done that. I was like, you fucking scumbags, man. But you know what? See, at the end of the day, man, you want to do shit like that, it's your own fault. You can't really cry about it, do you know what I mean? But aye, that was fucking. How did I even think of that? I think I was thinking about fucking Rangers or something. I must have been thinking about something like that, and then it came into my head. But see, the fuck. Just shows you the amount of stupid things I must have done that I probably forgotten all about. That, do you know what I mean? Just fucking. But this was a completely different time for me. Like I had absolutely no self awareness or no remorse, no insight, no nothing. All I had was my chip in my shoulder, that bag of chips in my fucking shoulder, know what I mean? Just, it didn't take much to set me off, know what I mean? But, and I look back on it now and I laugh at it and all that kind of shit. But if I never knew, right, and somebody came and told me they'd done that, I'd be like, you're a fool. So, for all intents and purposes, I'm talking about myself, aren't I? Because that is a stupid thing to do. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it's alright me sitting here now and saying, it was funny and da 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 da, but I think the main reason is because obviously I've don't want to say made it out the other end, but for all intents and purposes I have, because I never used to think I woulda, or think that my mentality would ever change. You know what I mean? And I always remember, I think I've said before, is my grandmother used to always say to me, this is all going to come back to haunt you when you're older. And I used to be like, no, it won't, because I'll always be the way I'm are. I'll never change. I'll just get better at being bad, if you want to say that. And that was a pretty dark time for me, I think, when I look back on the way I used to think, the way I used to kind of feel, and just my whole life was based on getting people back for perceived or real shit, insults, threats, slights, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And don't let anybody kid you that says that they were like that and they're past it now. I don't believe that for a minute. Because if you've ever been like that in your life, you have still got the potential to end up like that again. It just might be that now that you've got a life for yourself, you've got things to lose and you've got stuff to focus on and all that, then it's sandbagging you against your old life, your old way of thinking. To me, it's a lot like being an addict or an alcoholic who gets off drugs or gets off drink. It's probably still got that wee itch in the back of their brain. Like, to me, it's the exact same thing for me. This kind of self-talk, it's almost like two different Chris's, like this Chris and the older one, like the one for 20 year ago, 25 year, whatever it was. Just, it's like he's always sitting on my shoulder. Sometimes I can't hear him, other times he's very, very loud, do you know what I mean? I don't believe for a second anybody that's spent that length of time in jail or committed serious offences, especially like violent ones and stuff like that, that they don't get the intrusive thoughts or anything like that, do you know what I mean? But it's just, you have more pro-social factors outweighing the antisocial factors, if you want to call it that, do you know what I mean? But other than that, I don't know if any will have found that story funny, but it just made me laugh just thinking about it. Like, fucking hell, man, like, honestly, mate, my life was a shit show, man. But I'm going to try and do another, would you call it soon, see like an interview soon. I want to start doing Meriden because they're quite fun, aren't they? The one with Roscoe was a good laugh, I thought, man, just crazy shit, man, know what I mean? But I want to start doing Meriden because they're good, and I don't want it to just be about always me talking shit, know what I mean? But I'm going to my wee class tonight, so hopefully I don't end up fucking collapsing during the warm up. But before I go, thanks to the people that I noticed that my subs are going up all the time and my views and stuff. The mad thing is, I looked at it and it said that my analytics and it, like the most people who watch it aren't even people who sub to my channel. That's weird, isn't it? I like looking at where the viewers, where the percentage of the viewers are for, and there's ones for. It said like 0.1% Russia, 0.1% Mexico. Mexico and Russia, are you kidding me, man? Know what I mean? Wonder who's watching me in Russia. Know what I mean? But yous all take care anyway, and I will see you next time I'm back on. Catches.